I'm going to show you how to draft a collar, self collar for your bomber's jacket. So you're gonna need a long strip of paper, somewhere around 4 inches by 22 inches. Okay, so this is roughly about 22 inches, and this is more than four, but 4 should be plenty that you need. So first thing you want to do, from a long strip of paper, you're going to fold that in half. Okay, so you're going to fold that in half. That folded line right here is going to be the center back of your collar. So at this folded line, you're going to take your clear ruler, you're going to draw a straight line across that way. So here is my folded line. You want to make sure that it's really square, so take your clear ruler and line that really straight, and then draw a straight line all the way across. And you are going to need your back neck measurement and your front neck measurement. So I written down on a piece of paper somewhere. So, okay, I got it here. So my back neck measurement is 4 1/8. So you're gonna measure here. You're gonna draw a line, 4 1/8 right here. From folded paper, draw in 4 1/8. And my front neck measurement is 5 3/4. So from this line that I draw, this is my shoulder seam. I'm gonna measure 5 3/4. So I'm gonna draw a line, 5 3/4. From that 5 3/4, you're gonna draw up a straight line that way. Just draw up that way. This is gonna be your center front. This is your shoulder seam, and this is your back neck. So from your center front, you're going to draw a line going up about 1 1/4. So from the center front, 1 1/4, you're gonna blend it all the way to your shoulder seam. But your shoulder seam, we're gonna mark at 1/8 up. Okay, so you're gonna take center front going up 1 1/4, and you're gonna blend to your 1/8 on your shoulder, and then from that 1/8 you're gonna blend right into your center back. So you're gonna start curving your seam. You're gonna curve that seam, blend right into that 1/8, and then from that 1/8 you're gonna blend right to the middle with no going up at all. If you have a French, like a hip curve pattern making tools, you can use this. You're gonna use the hip curve to do this, to blend them. But if you don't, you can kind of freehand, and then you raise it to the line if you don't like. So you just keep drawing your curve until your curve look nice and smooth. So now here we have, this is going to be your neckline. So the next step is to think about the height of your collar, how tall you want the back to be, or how thick you want your neckline, the collar, to be. So I'm gonna do 1 1/2, or you can do 1 3/4. You don't want it too big, or you don't want it too small. Okay, so I'm gonna do 1 1/2. So I'm gonna, from this line the new line that we draw, this is gonna be the neckline. I'm gonna draw up 1 1/2, and I'm gonna keep going 1 1/2, the same height with the new neckline, all the way close to the front area. Okay, very close to the front. So now when I'm close to the front, I can start curving into that 1/2. This is going to be the front. It's like a Mandarin collar. So I did the shape that I want. I'm going to double check my measurement. Anytime if I move a line going up, the measurement might change. So I'm going to double check it and see if I need any adjustment. So you're going to take your clear ruler. You're going to look at your shoulder notch right here. You are going to measure to be 5 3/4. Okay. And now my 5 3/4 have moved, have changed. So if it changed, you can adjust it. Just adjust your line. You raise the old one. So I adjust my line to the shape that I want. This is my collar now. After you finish that, you are going to put seam allowance outside of your collar. So you're gonna do 1/4 seam allowance if your neckline is 1/4, okay? My pattern is 1/4 on my neckline, so I'm gonna do 1/4 on the neckline. Same thing on the top of this collar here, I'm gonna do 1/4 too. And you're gonna take your ruler and you just start following the curve of the collar. 1/4. Then you're gonna stable them. I stable the outside, then when I open it, I don't have to remove my stable. Okay, you're gonna cut to your at your seam allowance line. And then you're gonna cut the top too. And then notches in the location that you need. You're gonna need one right here. This is gonna be the shoulder seam. At the center back, I'm gonna, on the where the neckline is, I'm gonna make a mark 1/4 toward the collar. So you're gonna do a notch here. So there's gonna be a notch here. This is the notch on your shoulder. And then I'm gonna do a notch right at the fold line up here. Okay, so this is your collar. And if you have a notcher, I have a notcher, you're going to notch at the shoulder at that 1/4 mark. And at that folded line, if you open this, you're gonna notch right at the fold line like this. And now here you have your collar, okay? And then you want to label your collar, so when you cut, you remember how many to cut. So you're gonna cut 2 self, that is gonna be your fashion fabric. You're gonna cut 1 interfacing. Okay, if we were doing pattern making, your interfacing normally, we're gonna write that in red ink. And then our self is gonna be black. Sometimes we write black pencil or we're gonna black ink pen. So here you are. Here's your collar for self fabric for your bomber's jacket.